I'm going for a walk. It's been a while since I've done one of these videos, and I don't know why, but it's just the way it's worked out. But today seems like a perfect day to have a go at doing one. It's supposed to be the best day of the year so far. Currently it's overcast, but it's very warm, 23 degrees, and the forecast is for the sun to come out later, which is why I'm wearing this silly hat. My walk starts today at Uttoxeter station, and I'm going to be walking along the Dove Valley to Marchington. When I get to Marchington, well, we'll see how I feel. There's various options. I can turn on my heel and retrace my steps, or climb up into the village and come back along the lanes. The downside to that is there's considerable hills involved, so we'll see. There's all sorts of compromises in between as well. The walk starts at Uttoxeter station and heads around alongside the railway, really, all the way to Marchington, skirting round the racecourse on the other side of the railway line. I was inspired to do this walk having seen this path from the train in the past, and I have to say the area between Uttoxeter and Marchington sort of goes by as a green blur from the train, so I thought it worthy of exploring in a bit more detail. We'll have a look at the River Dove as well. I say that the walk starts from Uttoxeter station. Actually it started in Tesco's car park, because their car park's free. Oh, and I've got my picnic from there as well, so I'm looking forward to that. Drone's in the bag, the route's set. What are we waiting for? Starting at the station approach road, the new Starbucks opened only a few months ago. I tried it once and I have to say I won't come back. Surly staff, and worst of all, they don't do filtered coffee. No, don't do that, never have, is what they said. And we turn right, and somewhere along here should be a footpath. You're going to get a lot of railway trivia on this walk, I'm afraid. So we'll start here as good a place as any. We've just joined the track bed of the North Staffordshire Railway's Churnet Valley line. Uttoxeter East Junction is ahead of us. Behind us Uttoxeter North Junction, and then continuing on through Roaster and Alton Towers to Cheddleton to Leek, and eventually to North Road and join the London North Western main line to Manchester. Across to our right is the site of the former Uttoxeter steam shed. You'd never know that once upon a time dozens of steam locomotives were stabled and repaired there. In fact, you'd never know that once upon a time where I'm walking, London Expresses roared by, albeit not on a regular basis, as a diversionary route when the West Coast Main Line was being electrified. But nevertheless makes you think. Oh, and of course, Uttoxeter Racecourse on our right. Now I need to concentrate, because according to the map the footpath doesn't actually follow the old track bed. It's across to the left somewhere. But it seems pretty obvious, on the face of it at least. Oh no, it doesn't. We shall see. Oh no, it doesn't. Oh yes, it does. The footpath does, in actual fact, pass to the left of where I was on the old track bed, and then cuts through this gap and over a field. The gap actually turns out to be a footbridge, which is quite convenient. And a well-maintained style. That bodes well for the rest of the walk. Sun's coming out. They said it would. How pleasant, trampling through a hayfield. For the reference, that's where the track bed is, and the racecourse on the other side of the current railway line that we'll be joining shortly. I have to say, given the choice, I'd rather walk across a freshly ploughed and rolled or de-turfed or whatever it is field this is. Very nice. Makes it much more easy underfoot. This is the Picknell Brook that I've been following pretty much for the entirety of the walk so far, and for quite a lot of it to come. Here it's very picturesque, as you saw earlier on, as it kind of forms a mill fleam, I suppose, through the industrial parts of the buildings around Uttoxeter station. But here, very charming. Told you there's a fair bit of railway nerdery in this walk. Uttoxeter's up starter and Uttoxeter's down distant. Onwards towards Marchington. I was going to say it looks like I've got a reception committee for this stile and bridge, but they're not up to the job. Yeah, fair comment. Again, the brook, looking pretty nice. Why am I not shocked that I've got an audience? Right, according to the map, the footpath cuts straight across this field to a stile over there somewhere. But whilst I could be following a animal track, I guess, it does look like the easier walking route is to follow the edge of the field alongside the brook. And I think that's going to be more pleasant anyway. They're trampling the farmer's hay crop down. Uttoxeter was manic earlier. Sunday afternoon, Tesco's, people everywhere, traffic was, I won't say nose to tail, that's an exaggeration even for Uttoxeter. But here I am a mile into my walk, the inevitable buzz of a light aircraft overhead, and peace, quiet, tranquility, solitude. Apart from those two cows, of course. Can't beat it. Well, that could have been worse. I found myself on the wrong side of this feature. I suppose it's a putative river. Very muddy, very wet still. Luckily found a place where I was able to push through and not have any great problem. Better still, the stile's over there somewhere, but it does look like I can get through this way. Sorry, farmer. I think, I'm going to check the map in a minute, I think that's where one of the potential return route footpaths comes out, across the railway. I'll have a look. No, turns out I'm a quarter of a mile further up than I thought I was, so this is just a private occupation crossing. So we won't bother with this. That's where we're heading. Other side of that hedge. Footpath sign's a good sign. Over in that direction somewhere. That's obviously the railway, and more particularly that line of trees represents the hillside that I'm going to need to go up at some point when I get to the other side. Mercifully flat so far. Right, enough waffle, let's concentrate on where the path goes, because what I'm following I don't think is the footpath. What can possibly go wrong? Pretty sure there's a metaphor here somewhere. First encounter with the dove today. For all you geography students out there, erosion, and no doubt how oxbow lakes are formed and all of that. I just think it's lovely. What was I saying earlier about it having been probably the best day of the year so far, after a terribly wet June? Baking hot day, but got all that mud. And more friends to make in this field as well by the look of it. Let's see how we get on. A diversion around that mud, I think. Uh-oh. I've been spotted. First question they're asking, have I got any food? Beyond that, let's see. Well, it wasn't entirely fun, I have to admit. Of course, they're just inquisitive, but I got halfway across the field and I realised I was walking towards where their food bowls, food troughs are. And they then decided that I must be walking towards them to fill them. And at that point, a mini stampede began. And fortunately for me, they all went round me. But it's still quite an experience to have them thundering by. Anyway, we'll say bade farewell to them now and cross this wonderfully rickety footbridge provided for the purpose of the footpath. In fact, I'm going to make my way over and then we'll come back round and have a better look at it, because yeah. Now I look at it from this angle, not quite so rickety, but pretty substantial in fact. I'll leave you to have another look at my new friends while I consult the map as to what this watercourse is that's shimmering away. Again, it's telling me on the bridge it's the Picknell Brook, but I find that hard to believe, but I'll take Network Rail's word for it. North Stafford Junction to Stoke Bridge 62. Yeah, can't beat that view. You can tell I didn't do my research for this walk because I wasn't expecting this. Obviously a Second World War pillbox, part of the defence of Britain's stop line. But what's remarkable is how good a condition it's in. Externally at least, absolutely no decay or degradation to the structure at all. Clearly the farmer doesn't want us to go in it, and I'm not going to, but that's not going to stop me having a look inside. Now, I'm no expert obviously, but as warrant this is probably the best preserved pillbox in the country. Fantastic. And this is the crossing that I was waffling about earlier. This is the crossing where, if I choose to, my plan B route, plan C, plan D, will bring me down that hill and across here to retrace my steps. Left the handset to call Uttoxeter signal box. Won't get an answer at the moment because it's Sunday morning. Well, Sunday. Well, it's 2 o'clock, so they might just be opening. Yeah. But for now, we'll carry on along the first intended path. Good job I brought my own water. Indication of how wet it's been. More or less dried out now, but looks like this was fun. The tractor driver. Another peep at the dove. More mud. Right, somewhere in this field is the nominal end of the footpath, or where the footpath goes across the railway line. The nominal end of the footpath on this side of the line. In an ideal world, I'd like to carry on and reach the old Marchington station, but that may not be possible. Let's see. So here we are, where the footpath goes over the railway. I think this style will make a nice spot for my picnic. It doesn't look very promising as to whether I'll be able to get through there. That's the dove coming back in, and this time the meander, according to the map, gets right up to the railway. I don't think there's space for a footpath through, so we'll cut our losses on that one. Right, time for dinner. Right, suitably fed and watered. Let's tackle the hill, and not this little hill. Looking left and looking right and listening. I'm pretty sure there isn't a train due for half an hour. Not lingering on the crossing. Nice little Staffordshire railway milepost there. Well, I knew from what the fields were like that it isn't a very well walked path, but now we're in real uncharted territory. Puts a whole new complexion on it. I think we go this way. Some intrepid soul has beaten me to it, but they probably had boots on. Okay. Let's be optimistic. Let's say that's the worst of it. Expecting to see Livingston any time, I presume. That was a route. Could have been worse. These are nettles. This was an idea. Oh, I'm glad I had my lunch first. Well, it's a bonus. Somebody's been down here and done some clearance work. Presumably because of whatever that is. But for this bit at least, the jungle is cleared. And I now appear to be entering into the open. Another bonus. Foot tracks. Let's follow them. Well, it's brought me to a very lovely spot, of that there can be no doubt. Oh. But I'm getting too old for hills like that. I know it doesn't look much like much, and yes, you're right, it isn't much. It's given me a good perspective on what lies ahead though. The road route is over to my left. If I was to go the lanes all the way back to Uttoxeter, then the hill with the wind turbine on, 2 wind turbines on it, figure in the route somehow. We'll see. Right now my thinking is it's 3:15. In about 10 minutes there'll be a couple of trains, so it would be nice to put the drone up and capture their passing, so I think I should do that from here. Right, that rest break over and a bit of a drone interlude, and the train's going by. Time to press on. I can hear voices. I think I'm about to walk through somebody's back garden, but hopefully it won't offend them too much. And that brings us out on the road, and then it's decision time. As it turns out, I was walking through somebody's back garden, but I was on the footpath and they were very nice about it and stopped to have a brief chat. Anyway, discretion being the better part of valour, I've turned right onto Moisty Lane, heading back towards Uttoxeter. So it's walking along this lane for about 3/4 of a mile, and then we drop back down the hill to the occupation crossing that we saw earlier, and then retrace our footsteps. But I hope to have the highlights for you. Walking along a road isn't necessarily one of them. On the other hand, walking along a quiet country lane, again, done worse. Probably won't see it at this range from this camera, but a beautiful view across the valley at WWII. I'm approaching a decision point. Since I recorded the last little snippet about walking on the road, 3 cars had gone by. I'm conscious of the fact that if I carry on the road, it isn't necessarily a bit uphill and down dale. Or I can take the footpath that I'm coming up on somewhere on the right. Sod it, let's stay on the road. Had I turned off down the footpath, I'd have come out down there by that farm. You can see the Langridge occupation crossing. Nice place. I can never remember my country folklore. Cows lying down, good sign, bad sign. Oh, in this case it looks like we've got a bit of a split. Indecision. So it could mean anything. I'm pretty sure that somewhere in the highway code it advises pedestrians to walk on the side of the road facing oncoming traffic. I'm going to challenge that one. My law is you walk on the side of the road that gives you the most room to get out of the way when something comes. And on this particular rain, it does actually seem to work out that one side there's a verge, whereas on the other side the edge is right up to the side of the road. So someone somewhere was thinking about it, I guess. And then you get to this bit. And this bit. I think you can see why I've chosen the side of the road that I've chosen. Still, very lovely and all that. Okay, decision time again. This footpath cuts a corner off, but I know from the map, and I can see already, that what goes down must come up. But, and the other potential downside to this, excuse me, I'm climbing the stile, to this route, is it appears to take me straight across the Uttoxeter golf course. It's a public footpath. Well, again, what can possibly go wrong? So almost ashamed to risk spoiling the flower arrangement. Aren't they beautiful? This could be interesting. Stay with me. It seems an awful long way from where I'm standing to where that bridge is, with not a lot in between. Yeah, there's a step. Can't see a thing because it's completely overgrown, so I've got to... Yeah, there's a step. There's a step. Right, here we go. So far so good. We appear to have a formidable barrier here, and I forgot to bring my machete. Ow, that's a nettle. This, I think, could well be Japanese knotweed. Quite sweet smelling, whatever it is. I've reached the stile, and the trouble is I can't actually find anything to put my feet on. Aha! Something solid. There it is. Oh yeah! Well, if that's the worst, the walk throws at me. Could be time for another swig of water, I think. Seen these wind turbines somewhere before. At least we know we can't get much higher. I'm at what must surely be the highest point in the walk. Boy, don't I know it. I'm currently sitting on a stile, having what is known in the trade as a blow up. Still, at the risk of getting repetitive, this is the worst place to be. Another well hidden, or at least used and in serviceable condition stile. Mine the holly. Whew. Worth it for the view. There's Doveridge again, and most of Derbyshire. Weaver Hills across to the left, and below us Ashbourne. Below us Uttoxeter. That'll be an interesting edit. Golfers ahead. Proceed with extreme caution. What's the magic number? Make sure to follow the map. Looks like some sort of warning here. One that could be well worth taking into consideration. You're now entering Uttoxeter Golf Course. For your safety, please follow the arrows. Okay. Beware of golf balls from all directions. Sound advice. So let's follow the arrows. Except down to the arrows. I'm following the arrows, and so far so good. I've not been hit by a golf ball. Trouble is the arrows only seem to be visible from one direction, and that's not the direction I'm coming from. So I think I'll just take cover in these trees for a little bit longer until I see the way out. I can see cars. That's got to be a good sign. This is the epitome of the saying, a good walk spoiled. So there it is, starting point. So this must be the finishing point. My watch says I've done 5.4 miles. But I know there was long stretches when I had it on pause and forgot to restart it. When I'd measured it, this route on the Ordnance Survey yesterday, it said 6 miles. So all the twiddly bits, yeah, 6 and a bit. I'll be glad to get my feet up. All I've got to do now is edit this and share it with you. Thank you for coming along with me. It's been almost pleasurable, apart from the uphill bits. Bye.